Hello and welcome to Ditch Witch Diaries. We are here going through the poisons and we've got some interesting poisons this time around. So I'm going to kick us off with like the Toxicodendron panoply of like poison oak, poison ivy, and poison sumac.
Love it.
Okay. So here we are. And I just want to like let you know that I love this writing, and in fact, I may just have this writing for everything I do from now on. Just FYI.
I like that one too. Is that a like a Google Slides font?
It is. It is.
Nice.
And it is it's so like Gaudi. It's so like Art
Mm,
Nouveau. I'm just
yeah.
obsessed with it. I can't even take it. Like I want it like all over the place.
Yeah. It's nice. It also has like, I don't know, Art Nouveau always has a little bit of like a whimsy goth like type vibe too, which I love.
Exactly. I know. Whimsy goth is exactly what I want.
Uh,
Okay,
all
so
right.
poison ivy, poison oak, and poison sumac are all part of the Toxicodendron grouping. So we're gonna like look at them. This is poison ivy, and I've got like a couple. This is all poison ivy. So that's what poison ivy looks like. Then we've got poison oak, and that's a poison oak. And so they're a little bit similar. I feel like poison oak and poison
Mm,
ivy kind of have some resemblance, but then the poison sumac does not at all. It's super different.
mm.
I would never know that's poison sumac. That's poison. It's totally
Oh, yeah,
not leaves of
interesting.
three. Not
Yeah.
exactly. It almost looks like eucalyptus a little. It's got
Yeah.
like especially that center one,
Yeah.
like very wild. So
It kind of, especially the one like in the picture on the right, it kind of looks like Oregon grape. Except Oregon grape leaves are much more like spiny, but like the shape and the structure of the leaves on the stem look kind of like, yeah,
yeah,
Oregon grape. Interesting. Hmm.
very. So, toxic, the parts used, the leaves, the root, the bark. You can use all of it, but use it with caution. We're going to talk about some uses for it, but we'll talk about it. It's yes. Other names: touch me nots, sister ivy, guardian oak, matayaho. So, plant information. So, there is like one or two species that's native to Asia, but most are native to North America even. So the Americas, but specifically North America, like America, like United States of America and Canada, most of them. So they're like I said, so the three main kinds are the ivy is Toxicodendron radicans, and that means like rooting. And then the poison oak is Toxicodendron pubescens, which is hairy due to the hairy leaves. And then the sumac is Toxicodendron varix, and varix is resin. So guess what? These are not true ivies, nor are they oaks. This is not ivy or oak. It's
Hmm.
Toxicodendron. It's total not that. Okay.
Hmm.
So this is a whole other thing too. Like this is crazy. So since 1960, the like how potent toxicodendron is has like gone up, doubled. The
Hmm.
potency of ivy, oak, and sumac of the what we're going to find out what it is of their poisonness has doubled, and they think it's
Okay.
because of climate change because the increased carbon dioxide, and
Hmm.
she loves carbon dioxide. So as the levels grow up, so does not only the abundance of ivy, oak, and sumac, but also the potency.
Okay.
And there's like there's no one way that you find our lovely toxicodendron. There's like the creeping ivy, there's the oak that can grow into a stout bush, a shrub, an aerial creeper up a tree. There's a lot of ways that toxicodendron can be in the world. And the Chinese version is Toxicodendron vernicifluum. And they use the sap as a lacquer, actually. Even though it has the same poisonous properties, the same like painful properties that we're going to see, they still use it as a lacquer.
Hmm.
And it's a relative of the cashew and the mango. So these plants are all monoecious. I think that's how you say it. So there's female and male plants. So the ivy has these yellowish green flowers in the spring and early summer, and they actually have fruits that are white and green little ovals. And the seeds are spread because birds eat them, and then goats also eat the entire plant and spread them around through, of course, their digestive tracts. They poop them out in
Yes,
other
they do.
places. Exactly. So the milky juice can be an indelible ink for marking linen, but take care. So
What's indelible?
it means it's permanent. I think that's
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Nice.
So poisonous action. So the poisonous action. So the poisonous action of all Toxicodendron is Urushiol. Okay. And that is kind of like the resinous. We're going to talk about what it is. So merely touching these plants will give most people severe welts. And I say most because it's not all. So some people, like 25% of the population, don't react at all. And let me tell you, I've hiked a lot in places where there's lots of poison oak, and I've never, ever gotten poison oak. So I don't know if I'm one of those 25%, but 25% don't react at all. But it doesn't mean that just because you don't react for a period of time, because you can also, it can cut, like you can have susceptibility later. Okay.
Mm.
And then even like if you get poison ivy or poison oak, you can have a reaction and it can go away and then it can recur months later.
So
So,
weird.
yes, it is. So, Urushiol is an oil. So, if you scratch it or if you just wash it with like an oil-based soap, it's just going to spread it around.
Mm.
Okay, it's Urushiol is a substance that's made of a bunch of compounds known as alkyl catechol. I think that's how you alkyl catechol. So it this oil, it can remain on clothing and surfaces for months or years. Okay.
That sucks. Throw it
I
away.
know, I know. So
Just throw it away.
throw it away. So that when you get a rash, there's like this 10-day process usually that people go to. And this is how it's been described: pebbled rashes, raw swellings, weeping pustules, vesicles, urticaria, and the
Ugh.
occasional boil. Okay, so
Ugh.
you can get sepsis from this, from just the sheer, depending on how much you have of it, like scratching it and the whole thing, it can get infected. Okay, so you can get it on your eyelids. Your eyelids can swell shut. If you can scar
Jesus.
really bad. So here's the other thing though. Like for fires and firefighters, if you inhale these burning particles or the vaporized oils, you can wind up in the ER from this. So
Dang.
don't burn this as an incense. Don't do that, okay? You'll be pumped full of hardcore corticosteroids. Okay. There's even been reports of people winding up dead from this. Okay. So,
Dang.
but once you get the rash, like the oils are already gone. So once you get the
Mm.
rash, like you cannot transmit it to other people. So
Mm.
if you know somebody with poison ivy, don't worry, you're not going to get it. Okay, you can also get this thing though that's called auto eczematization. Eczematization. Okay, and this is a systemic response to toxicodendron. Even like the blood cells like the white blood cells get
Mm.
activated, and even places where it didn't touch your body, can get rashes because it's like a systemic response now.
Okay.
So what do you do if you touch it? Within an hour, you should really wash it and wash the area in hot water and soap that's a non-oil based soap. So no olive oil soaps for this. You want
Mm.
like a good old-fashioned dial. So adages, the lore, stories, and cultural import. Adages. Okay. Leaves of three, let it be. Hairy vine, no friend of mine. Berries white, red in fright, or berries white, danger in sight. So, and
Mm.
that goes for other things too. I've heard that like white berries aren't a good thing in general. So, anyway,
Yeah, those are like
stay
it's
away.
like white berries have the smallest like proportion of edible berries. They say like I can't remember. I think it's like blue and black have the highest percentage of like edible berries. Red is like 50-50, and white I think is like 10% or something. Like only 10% of white berries are not poisonous.
So, berries
Crazy.
of white, danger in
Yeah.
sight.
Yeah.
So, this is from America, and this is like the Whitey story, okay? Because there's another story that's not the Whitey story. So, the Whitey story is about Captain John Smith. And
Mm.
remember him from the Pocahontas Disney movie or from your history classes, talking about
Hmm.
some little silly, probably completely untrue story about Pocahontas. So,
Hmm.
but Captain John Smith was the first white person who described poison ivy. Like if you, it was that late in the game, if you can imagine.
Hmm.
So now the indigenous story in America, okay, this is an Ojibwe story, and the encounter is a little frog hops into a patch of poison ivy. Well, it's called the frog and the snake, and the snake circles the edges. He knows better than to go into that poison ivy, and he'll get sick from the plant. So the lesson is that after moving away from the area, the frog is super itchy and upset and has poison ivy rashes, and he cures his itchy skin by rolling around in a neighboring patch of jewelweed, which is an interesting little story because jewelweed is like a natural cure. So
Hmm.
it's a natural like repellent or cure. So in fact, I read things from other like sources that weren't like indigenous sources that said that they found some jewelweed, and I looked at it and I didn't know, like, look it up because I've never seen jewelweed. So maybe it's next to
Hmm.
ivy. We don't really have ivy here. We have a lot of oak.
Hmm.
So, yeah. So in England, it was brought to England in 1640. It was brought back. If you can imagine, people wanted it in Europe, okay? And the Kew Garden has a huge poison garden. It's one of like my like bucket list places that I want to go is the Kew Garden in England. But it was brought back and it was like kind of introduced to Europe around 1640. So in France, okay, this is great. Okay, this is a great story. So, first of all, it wasn't called Toxicodendron. Like the original name for it was like the genus was Rus, Rhus. Okay. So, this guy in 1780, Andre Ignace Joseph Dufresno. He's this army physician and he's like a medical professor from France. And he like got obsessed with poison ivy. He was just interested in it. He wanted to like know about like if it had any medicinal properties because one of his students had this like wound on his arm that wouldn't heal. Like this boilish wound that just kept like going and going, and like he got poison ivy on his hands, and when the rash healed, the wound healed as well. So like he like thought maybe there's some like uses for like, which it probably like brought like white blood cells to it. It probably,
Hmm.
it activate, it's like
Yeah.
it's like bringing attention, your body, you didn't know this, but if you have like a wart and you just bring attention to it, like put even a band-aid over it or put some vinegar on it. Like it's not the vinegar that like gets rid of it.
Mm.
It's that you've like told your body to bring attention to that place and it heals it. So that's probably like the same thing. Okay, so like this Dufresnoy had all sorts of cures for skin lesions, including boiling leaves and drinking the water. Okay, all sorts of like crazy things that he wanted to do with like the poison ivy. Then in 1794, during the French Revolution, he had sent some of these poison ivy, like little plants, to a friend. And he wrote like to the friend a letter and it said, how is my dear Ruth doing? Okay. And he was referring to the plants, okay? But the letter was intercepted and he almost went to the guillotine because they thought he was talking about the Russians. Like Dear Ruth was about the Russians.
Oh.
And so then he explained, no. I was talking about the plants. Like the plants are named Ruth. Like this is like that's the name of the genus. Like also like so he got out of it. But he almost got killed for poison ivy. I know.
Crazy.
In China. So in China, this is
Mm.
Toxicodendron vernicifluums, which we said before. It's a lacquer, okay? And you can see the plant, the vernicifluums is more, it's more like a sumac, I think. And
Mm.
it looks like it. And it's used in lacquer, but it causes this lacquer poisoning called Urushiol in Japanese. Okay, so, and it affects people who are new to using the lacquer. And if you're new to using the lacquer, there's like this mild reddening and swelling of like your hands, face, eyelids, even the lower parts of your body, and especially like the scrotum, which is
Oh
funny.
God.
So this is that lacquer poisoning. And it's like
Mm.
includes, of course, violent itching. Okay. And then below, that's something that was lacquered with this toxicodendron.
That is a really pretty color though.
Isn't it? I know. I don't think it does the red. I think they did a dye
Yeah.
first, but
Mm.
I think the lacquer is just like clear.
Yeah.
So then in pop culture, of course, and a this is a comic. So this DC Comics character is Poison
Mm.
Ivy, and she's a doctor of botany turned misanthropic eco-terrorist. And the image is like a variant cover of Batman Volume 3, number 26 from 2017. Just thought, and I gave credit where credit was due. So there you go. So now, poison, 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 poison.
Mm.
Okay, it's poison. We're doing a series on poisons. This is
Mhm.
poison. This is a poison. Okay.
Which we've already said too, like multiple
Okay,
times.
exactly. So now the correspondences, this is going to be fun because there
Mm.
are no correspondences I could find about Toxicodendron anywhere. Okay?
Mm.
None. I looked and I looked and I looked. I looked in all my books. I did it. So the element I picked is fire. Okay, fire and Mars are like perfect for this. They cause these red welts. They're hot. They're itchy.
Mm.
It's rough. Okay. But the astrological sign I picked was Scorpio. And the reason I
Mm.
picked Scorpio is because there is like another part to this. So it's like these like rough parts are this Urushiol is hidden amongst this like beautiful greenery. So like almost like green and lovely and lush and watery and but Scorpio's about hidden things. So that this is like really I feel like it's really good. So it's about boundaries and transformation, hidden dangers, respect for nature. There's consequences to crossing my boundary. You're gonna get
Yeah.
the back of my tail if you cross my boundary.
Mm.
So toxicodendron makes you be aware and have respect. It doesn't invite contact.
Mm.
The temperature is hot and dry in the 3rd degree. And the tarot. So I picked 2, and I'm kind of working slowly on doing these tarot videos. And the next one is justice. So it was kind of on my mind. But I feel like Toxicodendron teaches consequences without malice. Like, it doesn't hate you. It's just the consequences of touching me are that you're going to get fucked up. Like, that's sorry. Or
Nice.
like maybe like the tower, like a sudden painful awakening, you get thrown over the edge. I don't know. Maybe either one of those.
Mm.
So the chakra is, I picked root chakra. So it's all about boundaries and survival. Like, where do I safely belong in the world? I can tell you it's not rolling around in the ivy. Sometimes you see like ivy and oak as like boundary markers, like at the borders of people's like where you live, and then around the borders is this ivy and oak. So it's about like boundaries and survival. And then these goddesses. So I picked a couple interesting ones. So first of all, of course, we had to pick like the forest ones. So Artemis, like the goddess of the wild places, the protectress of the forest. Holda, she's also the goddess of wild places, and she's associated with uncultivated land. She also rewards respect and correct behavior and punishes you if you don't do those things. Skadi, I think that's how you say it, in Norse mythology. She embodies respect for dangerous environments. She's like a giantess, and she's associated with the gods, but is never one of them, which is kind of like wild. I'd like to know more about her. The Morrigan. So many of the Morrigan stories, yes, revolve around boundaries and sovereignty. She is a teacher through consequences. So, and then the Spider Mother, who is from the Hopi tradition. And the Spider Mother isn't like really about like the like wild, like forested areas or anything, but she's about like patience and wisdom and being very observant, which is what like Toxicodendron calls us to be, is very observant of our surroundings. She teaches us like not to rush into things, but to pay attention. So
Nice.
And then the moon phase I picked was waning, because about protection and banishing boundaries, endings. And then the crystal or stone for the same reason, black tourmaline, because it's a strong association with boundaries and protection, and obsidian for revealing hidden danger and use in shadow work. So those are mine. Do you have any thoughts on those?
No, I like them. I like them all.
Perfect. So the magical properties, the same thing. Like, I kind of got them from these, and you're going to see just a repeat, like insight, presence, observational powers. Okay, so every moment, like you're out walking around in nature, you have to be present. If you're like in places where there's ivy, poison ivy or poison oak, like that's what Toxicodendron calls us to do, to be present with each moment. And if we're near her, we can't be otherwise. She asks us to observe, to be aware. Okay, we're liable to run into her tangles. But if we're aware, we can avoid the more intense lesson of contact dermatitis. So she's also about protection, defenses, and boundaries. Okay, so this is great. So Toxicodendron, especially like ivy and oak, protects like delicate ecosystems, like from humans, okay? So she keeps human out, like a human repellent, so that these places can flourish. And protection is a serious business for Toxicodendron, definitely. Poison protection. She's also an anti-hex. I found one thing that said that it was like an anti-hex remedy. So the magical, she's about magical consequences. Fuck around and find out. So that's that. That's just what I took from it. So if there wasn't anything about it, but we created something about it.
Yay.
So the medical disclaimer. Okay, first of all, we're not doctors. Second of all, this is a poison. I'm not going to say anything more. If you do any of these things, do so at your own risk. This is for educational purposes only. Okay, so Western properties. Okay, so we've heard it be used for herpetic eruptions. I think those are like on herpes. So,
Mm.
and I've heard it used for your face, used in homeopathy as well. So you can find Rus. I think it's still talked about as Rus in homeopathy. So in homeopathy, it's used as rheumatism, the old rheumatism cure, used for ringworm and other skin disorders. And in small doses of tincture, it's a sedative and used for urine incontinence. So that's it for Western uses. Okay.
Mm.
Indigenous, though, they've been in America for a long time and they have a whole set of things that they do. So with this, so they mostly do recognize that it's a poison. Okay. So, but we're going to go through one by one. Even so, they use these, even though they recognize that this is a poison. So, Toxicodendron diversilobum is Pacific poison oak. So the Deganio, look at, I found the tilde. I'm so proud of
Yay!
myself when I go grab the tilde. They use it as an eye medicine. So a decoction of roots for tiny sores inside the eyelid. That does not sound good.
That sounds
It must be just
terrible.
very, very little like homeopathy
Yeah.
kind of stuff. The
Yeah.
Karok, they swallow a leaf in the spring as a prophylactic. Again, good luck with that.
Boils on your throat. That sounds terrible.
I know. Mahuna, yeah, maybe you won't feel like having sex if you swallow
Yeah.
the leaf. So the mahuna, they use an infusion of the dried roots taken to prevent poison from other sources. So maybe if you're like doing that like very
Gradual
small,
buildup.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The Mendocino Indians, and they use the word Indian in that, use a moxa for warts and ringworms, not ringwords, but nice try. Okay, so what is a moxa? It's like it's like a burning, they use the smoke in very specific areas. So like moxibustion, I think like in traditional Chinese medicine, they use those cups. It's like part of moxibustion, but I think moxa is just the actual like smoking of a specific area. Taloa, so the buds are eaten in spring to have immunity from other poisonous plants. The Wailaki use a poultice of fresh leaves applied to snake bites. So again, I don't know about that, but maybe they're using that same idea as like having your, like if you cause another like problem with that area, your body like produces the antibodies or whatever to it. I don't know.
Yeah.
And the Yuki use the plant juice for warts. Again, same thing we're talking about. So the indigenous. Now we're talking about Toxicodendron pubescens, which is the Atlantic poison oak. The Cherokee use a decoction as an emetic. Okay, to get you to throw up. I bet you will.
Yeah.
The Delaware, Oklahoma use a poultice and a salve containing the root on chronic sores and swollen glands. So they probably knew this before that Desfrenoy or whatever in France was using it for this. The Iroquois use a poultice applied to infectious sores on the lips, the herpetic, right? Given to nervous, and also they give it to nervous boys and girls. That'll put them in their place, right?
Yeah.
The Meskwaki people use a poultice of pounded root and apply it to swellings as a drawing agent to get it to
I mean, if it's a
open up.
drawing, the snake bite one makes sense too, right?
Yeah, and they get it's like more like to open up that area, like so maybe to like let it ooze or something. I don't know. Sounds horrible. The Potawatomi people nation or whatever use a poultice of pounded root applied to swellings, and it's used primarily by medicine men. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Toxicodendron radicans, which is eastern poison ivy. The Cherokee use a decoction as an emetic again. The Hauma people use a tonic decoction of leaves as a rejuvenator. Does not seem rejuvenating.
Yeah.
But maybe if you boil it and you're like just eating the leaves and you're getting all the oils off of it, I don't know, maybe. maybe I don't know. I can't for the life of me figure it out, but I'm just repeating what
Yeah.
it's that Mormon book. So
Yeah.
the
Oh, nice.
Kiowa use the plant for running or non-healing sores. So again, we see this as
Mm,
like a remedy. That's like probably the best remedy we've seen.
yeah.
The Navajo Ramash use it on poison arrows. So then the Toxicodendron rydbergi, the western poison ivy, which I haven't seen any in the West. I've seen only poison oak. The
Mm,
Iroquois use a poultice of plant applied to skin as a vesicant for water in the blood. Toxicodendron vernix, which is poison sumac. The Cherokee wash, they use it as a wash for foul ulcers, and they take it for fever. So ague, asthma. I don't know what phthisic is, but I don't know. I think it's some sort of pulmonary disorder, an ulcerated bladder.
mm,
So these are my sources, and like I said, all that Native American uses was found by the Native American medicinal plants by Daniel Mormon. So if you ever, it's got everything you ever wanted to know and more afraid to ask. But as you can see, there's not many books and not many websites. There's just not
mm.
much on it. Hold on, let me get out of here. There's just not much on it. So we are
Yeah.
creating a very interesting little record of like the bringing everything together, because I don't feel like there's a place that's done this or has even created correspondences or has, I mean, I couldn't find it. So
Yeah.
I love it when we are the people that do such things.
Yeah. Yay.
Yay.
And it's also, I feel like strengthen, I don't know, giving your own, we do this already a little bit, but like adding your own insight to the use of the plants is like, I don't know, it's just like a really magical thing to like I don't know, feel like you're in tune with the plant like that. And it's really nice when you have that without any like influences of which way the magic should go, you know?
Exactly.
So, yes, I
Agreed.
like it.
I had fun with it, and feel like sometimes people are afraid to touch poisons in a little bit of a way. So they have a couple feelings about it, you know? So
Yeah.
I don't know. We're not afraid of it. A plant's a plant as far as I'm concerned. I'm excited
Yeah.
about it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, honestly. And I feel like, yeah, I don't know. It is weird that there's not a lot of the poisons discussed in this way.
Even
But
yeah, even the books on poisons don't, they
yeah,
like want to touch like the big names. They don't really
yeah,
want to like go down the rabbit hole of like,
yeah.
I mean, still to this day, one of my best poisons is that giant hogweed. So I'm like really
Mm,
into it. So
yeah, nice.
anyway, it's so me.
Yeah.
It's so like dinosaur age. It's so like Jurassic or something.
Yeah, we get those out here and they're like, it's crazy. They're massive. Oop,
Yes.
hold on. I just started something. Oh, my music started playing. Hold on.
Didn't start playing here. So
I, okay, good. Okay, cool.
anyway, so like and subscribe below, and we will see you at the next Ditch Witch Diaries.